I'd like to thank, of course, I'd like to thank God for blessing me with these gifts and abilities. Gotta thank my parents and the rest of my family for supporting me. I gotta thank my girlfriend. Gotta thank Deja. She was always there for me through the recruiting process. Gotta thank the Trendsetter gang. They're like brothers with me.
I'd like to thank God for blessing me with the ability to play the game.
I'd like to thank my mom because, without her, none of this would be possible. I'd like to thank Coach Stark, our position coaches, Coach Hernandez, Coach Byrne, and just my brothers, because they're a team, right?
I thank my boy Landon, Mike, Trap, Taurus, Yuri, Jose, Horsey, Velo, Wiggs, OJ, Corey, all Trendsetter.
Hey, what's Velo's mom?
And John. My bad.
Man, first off, I gotta thank God, my mom, my stepdad, and I gotta thank the rest of my teammates and the wonderful coaching staff.
Let's start this off. Jason Culver, Mike Williams, Corey Whipper, Travis Lemon, Eddie Key, Kobe Lewis, Curtis Rudolph, Kentrey Dennis, Zion Jackson, Craig Conk, McKell, I don't know his last name, is it McClinton? Let me see who else. Stanley Wynn, O'Shea Baker, Jaden Phillips, Alex Ingles, Jose Morales, Vernon Manuel, Desmond Brown, Deautry Robinson, I think his last name is. Who else? Greg Liggins, Henry, Manny, Trayvon Boone, Big Boone. That's Tars Boone if y'all don't know him. Let me see who else. Quarterbacks, Timmy, he raw. My boy Graydon. That's about it.
I like to start off by thanking God, my mom, my dad, my uncle. I gotta thank my cousin Travis Lemon. Gotta thank my other cousin Eddie Key. That's my big brother. Travis is too. Gotta thank my big brother Kurt. My big cuz, shout out the last stop, Yuri Saab. My big cuz from the Key, Kobe Lewis. I got gangsters in Lake Mary, Kobe Daniels.
Kobe.
Gotta thank my old lady. Who else? I gotta thank Coach Lodge. He was a real one. Coach Stark. My pops, Big Wigs. Shout out to Luke. We had some great memories at practice. Shout out to Cameron. We had some great memories on JV. John, he's just a funny guy, mad guy.
Foremost, I like to thank God, my big cousin Rory, God bless his soul. Shout out to Trendsetters. I thank my big cousin Corey Whipper, Coco the Finessa, Big Eddie Key, Nut 26, Jay Cyberman, Big Kurt Rudolph, Uncle Luke, aka John, Chico the Finessa. You really have a finesse, but hey, rounds baby. And shout out my boy Graydon. And Graydon, you my boy. 5-star, you know who you is. Kentrey will assist. Shout out to Coach Lodge, even though he bumped heads a lot. He kept it 1K. But shout out my big cousin Stanley. Yeah, and Mike and Jason.
First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I want to thank my mom. I want to thank my dad. I want to thank my old lady Trinity. Shout out to my boy Swain. Shout out to my boy Soldier 6.
I would like to thank God, my family, and all the coaches that invested time.
I'd like to thank Coach Stark, Coach Cox, Coach Johnson, Coach Rex, Coach Hernandez, Coach Byrne, just everybody that helped me. So I appreciate y'all.
I'd like to thank my mom, my 2 sisters, my friends and family, and my old lady.
All the coaches and all the players.
I'd like to thank my mom. I'd like to thank Coach Carey and Coach Key, allow me to perfect my craft.
I want to thank God, my family, and the coach staff.
I'd like to thank all the people that told me I could do it, because I had ACL surgery, but
I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, that's it. I'm done.
My advice, just do the work, put in the time, put in the effort, and I'm a living testament to that. It'll turn everything around if you just buy in and trust God and trust the coaches.
If you're a 3 or 4, just keep grinding. You might get your chance.
Just be prepared. Don't quit, and just do you.
Ball out.
Man, just go in the weight room, grind. Don't quit. Just keep going hard. And practice hard.
Well, PT, boy, that's a joke. You ain't getting that. Next.
Next year, I gotta tell y'all to be hungry. It goes by quick. Can't take a play off, can't take a day off. And good luck replacing me.
Don't be like me. Cause if you want to play, work hard. Cause I BS, I ain't gonna flex.
Let your past, take your future, use that, what happened in the past, use that fuel to help you better in the future. Because some people out there can have a better senior season than they junior season. Because it's your mistakes cost us 2 games.
No matter where you are on the depth chart, always keep working because your time will come.
For future football players, just do what you're told. Don't back talk. Just do it.
Even if you're far in the depth chart, just work and you'll have your time to shine.
The advice to the upcoming players are live in the moment, enjoy everything, work hard, and never slack off.
As long as you got that dog mentality and you hungry, you'll find somewhere to play.
Work hard.
Stick through it, and yeah, you'll have a fun time.
Just work hard. Don't get up.
Shoot, go to practice. Don't get hurt. Just try your best. You feel me? You don't want to be like big boy Landon. Coach Stark be talking about in the last 6 months I would have recruited him, but last year, nah, don't be like that.
Favorite memory of the year was it was before the homecoming game when we played lineman. He had us in a big circle, and he told everybody he was calling people out in the circle, and we had to show what dance moves we had. It was after practice. It's just a fun time. Just to share with the brothers.
Getting my first catch.
My favorite memory would honestly have to be a couple days before the game. We were at practice, and the offense wasn't doing what they were supposed to do, and Coach Stark kicked the whole offense off the team. He told everybody to go, and he was not playing, so that was just funny.
And football. Well, I don't know. Next question, I don't know.
One funny memory, one time we was in the weight room and a strong force had got my boy Corey Whipper, threw him up against the wall, but he came out fine.
Favorite moment in football was in spring. They gave us hamburgers after practice.
I got a couple funny moments. It was one, my junior year, we went to camp, and I slept in the room with Kobe. And he woke up and had a big nightmare, caused him to be late to practice, but he made it. Another funny moment, last year when we played Dr. Phillips, camera lady was running down, and I'm not sure who stepped on the court, but someone stepped on it and she went flying.
You stepped on it.
Another funny memory was was it this year? It was last year when we played Evans, and Yuri went out for the punt. He tried to catch it, and he got knocked out. And he came to the sideline, and he was slapping ice on his head. And Vernon Manuel, when we played Lake Cal, he slapped some ice on his head after he got a concussion. And yeah, I mean, that was a great game. I scored. Sorry, Vernon, but I won us the game.
Yeah, even though we lost the playoff game, we lost first round. It was low-key funny how Yuri was crying. It was funny how Coco cried. I can remember Coco. She told you told you go want to cross too. That look-key had me rolling. But I was like, nah, bro, we lost. But
When I scored 3 touchdowns, get Lake Mary, have us win the district championship.
My favorite memory this year was when we were at camp and 2 best friends were fighting each other. It was pretty funny.
Moment be, this Jensen Beach game. Sacramento caught it in the corner of the end zone, and they rolled me down at the 1, but it was close enough.
Favorite moment is when we all went to camp and just bonded.
My favorite memory was when we all were at camp and we had like the Madden tournament. Everybody was like a brother, and I felt like the unity there.
When we beat Lake Mary for the district championship.
One time in freshman year, there was this grown man on the football team. His name was Oswald, and he whacked the life out of me like 4 times in a row.
My sophomore year when I ran over Manny Taylor.
I don't know.
This is a homage beat. is a Homage beat.
And some waves, baby. 68 waves, baby. Come on, stop playing.
We got the Kentucky commit right here. What would you like to say?
Man, you know, gotta thank God, know what I'm saying? And, you know, just gotta keep.
Hey, Herd 18, man. Cornell, you know how you rocking. Herd 18.
Man, Big Blue Nation out here, baby. Come on.
32771. That's where we from.
Alright.
Hey, Mom.
I like to thank my parents first, well, God first, you know what I'm saying? And then, my parents. Hold on. Alright, hold on. Alright. Can I restart now? Alright, I like to thank God first. You know what I'm saying? And then my parents. Y'all stop laughing. Ew. I say that all the time, bro. You get your chance.
Why are you cussing, bro? Alright, make sure y'all get this one and not the other one.
You already know we're back at it again. You know, I got the 2 mics on so you can hear it. Kentucky commit.
You about to do that thing out there, you.
There you have it. I got some toys for sale.
Man, you know I did a little bit of something. You know, I threw it up. You know, I had to do it. Let me stop. You know,
I got good lighting.
we got 10 minutes left.
I look cute.
Hold on, I gotta flip up. I got good lighting.
Put me on YouTube. Quick reaction. That's it.
Yeah, I got you, bro. Dade County, Florida. Shout out. Hey, them Broward County boys can't hang. You know what I'm saying?
No, man, Broward County 954. You already know.
Hey, Castleberry gang,
No
you know.
Park Trail.
Castleberry gang.
I'm for the 32771. Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. It's going to call off the freshman roster, players that are here. First of all, we have Marcus Reel. Zaire Gwynn. Where's Wynn? He's not here? Wynn's not here? No. Okay. Les Hewitt. Evan Grayson. Delvin Ingram. Day Hampton. Lawrence Jones. What is that? Oh. Zachary Taylor. He's not here. Levant Bird. Robert Ruffin. your name? Brendan Kennedy. Hamilton Mays, transferred on us. Trevor Sims. Ed Baker. Daquarius Stewart. Richard Horax. Jaden Rodriguez. Jameis Drummer. Jalen Beecham. Wow. Garrett Thornton. Hunter Stacy. Felipe Moran. Seth Brunkow. Watavian Johnson. Isaiah Heath. Nicholas Jaffe. Where is it? So who's this? Sebastian Marcellian. Tyquel Teague. Where's G? Giovanni Palladino. Ryan Sierra. Chris Dweck. Alan Wiley. Evan Johnson. Charles McFadden. You know him? Sergio Diaz. DeVille Moore. Zion Alsey. Michael Dumont. Where's Dumont? He's not here. Kebo Hall. Kebo's not here either. Josiah Mitchell. Jonah Pierce. Taylor Jones. Tyler Hill. Hunter Hobson. Ahmad Hooks. Thomas Hare. Corian Hunt. Tyreek Knock. Darryl Roberts. Jason Jesse. All right, man. All right. All right, come on, Hamp.
Start with the President's Award.
Hamp, go first. We're going to do the defensive presentation for the defensive awards. For that, we have our defensive back coach and Coach Hamp.
Good evening. We're going to present the first award for the, I'm going to do it kind of out of order. I'm going to do the most improved award. I remember this kid when he came to us. He didn't play the first two games, and one of the games was against Lake Mary. And I remember him telling us basically that when he got the opportunity, he was going to smash Lake Mary in the mouth. So, first couple games that he did get to play, he couldn't figure out how to call the trap calls. So finally he got it together towards the second to the last game. We all put it together, and we came out victoriously, and he did what he said against Lake Mary, and we smashed him in the mouth. The most improved player is going to go to Thomas Hare Jr., a.k.a. Carrot Top.
That's not funny. Hey, no, that's not funny. It's the head.
All right, so I'm going to also present a defensive player award, the MVP award from freshman. Again, this kid was probably one of the most coachable kids that I've ever had to coach. When I first met him, I asked him what position he played. He pretty much told me everywhere, coach. He was probably one of the bigger kids on the team. He started out because I was defensive backs coach. He ended up coming out at defensive back, and I was happy because he was physical and everything. I think we did a hitting drill one day, and Coach McCoy was there, and this kid pretty much was probably the most aggressive defensive player we had on the team. Very physical. And like I say, probably the most coachable and most humble kid I've ever met. And the defensive MVP award goes out to Ty Teague.
Yeah, you going. Now we have our offensive MVP award handed out by our running back coach, Coach Knight.
First time I saw this kid, he wasn't the biggest, he wasn't the fastest or the strongest, but he had a really big heart. We had a couple of games like to where he was the only running back that we had. And I look at him during the game, I'd be like, man, you all right? I can see the pain in his eyes, but he would never say he was hurting. He'd say, Coach, I'm good. I'm good, Coach. And the offensive MVP award goes to Day-Day Hampton.
I had a lot to say about you, but they won't let me say it. Oh, boy. All right, we're going to do now our most valuable player team award, which will be done by myself. I'm the freshman head coach, also the offensive coordinator. This year has been fun, nothing to say at the least. We had a special group of young men. This was my first year as a head coach, and I took it on with a serious mentality because, well, Coach Stark said I had the second most important job next to his, and because they're the freshmen, which they're the future of the program, and that's something that shouldn't be taken lightly. These kids that come in and they buy into this program, they have something special waiting for me if they just buy into it. And we had some situations during the season. Well, we didn't know if some of the guys on the team were going to remain on the team. And I'm a disciplinarian, and if you don't do it the right way, you get one, you get two. After that, you got to go because we have so many. And we started out with about 77, almost 80 guys. And by the time the roster was done, I think we ended up with like 42. One of the games we had about 45? 45 of our freshmen. And I think of those, probably 20 of them were starters or come in to relieve starters sitting on the bench simply because of disciplinary reasons. So that just told you how serious we were in this program. But after that, I think they got the picture and got the message that if you don't come with a business mentality, life at Seminole High School on the football team is going to be hard for you. And the MVP player, he was no exception to that. He was one of the hardest persons to coach. And sometimes, usually, the ones that have the most talent are. He's not here. Zaire Gwynn, if he listens to the coaching that he receives from his coaches, from the varsity, JV and varsity coaches, the potential that he has is unlimited. It was fun coaching him and watching him practice, watching him play, because some of the stuff he did, you just sit back and like, wow, if this kid just keeps working hard, the opportunities to be it'd be limitless. And so, having said that, the most valuable player award goes to Zaire Gwynn. He's not here, but for those of you that know him, you've seen him play. If you watch this kid as a freshman, you'll love to see him as a senior. It's the summer workouts, and he buys into everything to that. Even some of these guys that are graduating, you want to come back and watch that, because that's just something that don't happen every day. So, Zaire Gwynn.
I'll be accepting this award on Zaire's behalf.
That's your 2017 freshman football team. All right. If the JV coaches can come up, all right. Woody, Rex. JV football players, if you men want to come up here, be recognized. Yep. Just read right down the list. You can.
Should I skip the first one?
Yeah, you can skip that.
All right, hurry up. Let's go. All right, we're going to start without you. First up, Zacchaeus Moore. I told you we're going to start without you. Z, I know you're here. Hurry up. The last one, of course. Jacob Longway. Diatri Robinson. Gregory. Oh, my bad. I'll wait. There's like a whole line y'all could have just like went over there. Guys, go along the wall so you have room. Greg Liggins. Jaquan Watkins. Ed Manning. Thomas Fry. Andre Johnson. Henry Williams. Kevin Jackson. Kenny Clark. TJ Taquan Johnson. No. Jose Fajardo. That's Pulajala's first name? Arya Pulajala. Alex Ingalls. Jonah Mitchell. Anakith Gaduri. Trayvon Boone. Austin Presti. Javari Frederick. Tyler Hargis. Kenyon Dennis. Jason Monroe. Mokese Brooks. Terry Huffman. Martell Campbell. Antoine Casanova. Michael Bradley. D'Angelo Baker. Gabe Rodriguez. Preston Shadricks. Darvis Conquest. Cross Conlon. J.D. Hennessy. LaCharles Taylor. Isaiah Santana. Brody Bledsoe. Nicholas Reno. Caleb Morgan. Joseph Freeney. Angelo Brannigan. Jaquez Jackson. Carson Blyseth. And John Tong. Just take it. It'll be good. Good job, guys. Go up the list?
Yeah, up the list.
Do you want me to do that
Scholar
one?
athlete. Yeah,
He's not even here.
Just talk about scholar athlete real quick.
All right, so the first one up for is going to be scholar athlete for JV. He's not able to be here today, but that's Jacob Longway. Up next is going to be most improved, and that's going to come from Coach Harris.
All right, so this young man always has a great positive attitude. He's always a real hard worker, and he's always willing to do everything he can to help the team. On JV this year, he played 2 different positions, and even though he got very little practice time at one, because he was always an individual and stuff with the other, he came out and played wide receiver and made a big impact on the JV team. And that's Thomas Fry.
Up next is defensive MVP with Coach Wiggins.
All right, I got the defensive MVP. This player basically controlled the DBs during the games. He's a very hard worker, always at practice, and this goes to Greg Liggins.
Up next is Coach Rex Irwin with offensive MVP.
You gotta get out of the way, so Coach. Come on, man. Coach is a good blocker.
Here we go. All right. This kid gave great. He was great each week. Worked hard. He was great to coach. And so this is going to go to DeAndre Robinson. He's the JV offensive MVP.
So humble. Don't mean that. All right, and I'm going to do the MVP overall. So this player actually didn't end up playing the whole season with us because he got pulled up due to injury. Always knew what he was supposed to do, made the right checks, did everything in his power to help us do what we needed to do on defense. Mokese Brooks.
They misspelled your name. You're going to get it fixed. They spelled it with a G instead of Great job. That's it. All right. That's your 2017 JV football team. All right, if we can have the varsity coaches come up, please. Varsity players, if you want to go ahead and line up. The way the certificates are organized, first year, varsity players, come on up. It's first year players, second year, and then third year. So if this was your first year on varsity, you men want to be somewhere towards the front. Hey, yeah, you want to read them? Here, I'll read them out and then you just hand them. Yeah. Or if you want to hand them to me. What's that?
You want me to read them or you want to read them?
Yeah, no, you can read them.
Read them and hand them to you?
Yep.
Oh. Special kind of special, folks. All right.
And then, Eric, you've got the pins and all that good stuff. Okay.
All right. First up, Josh Lyles. Jarquez Mango. Jamal Bradford. Curtis Rudolph. Here. Jordan Davis. Daquan Pittman. Miguel Perez. Nope. That's Pitt. Craig Conk. Mikel McClinton. Jorge Castano. Take that. Justin Marks. Chris Walker. John Cooper. Eddie Key. He's not here. Macoby Daniels. Wow, Ed. Corey Whipper. TV has him. Kentre Dennis. Graydon Kroll. Jose Morales. Mike Williams. Jaden Phillips. Jordan Smith. Xavier Ramey Rodriguez. He's not here. Stanley Wynn. Timmy McLean. O'Shea Baker. Breton Trutland. I guess Stanley is here. Hilton Mobley. Jalen Rose. Vernon Manuel. Actually, that's Stanley. He showed up. Stanley, come here. That's Stanley. Stanley Wynn. Again. Kobe Lewis. Zion Jackson. That's the weirdest handshake. Gage Piot. Josiah Hardman. Travis Lemon. Hey, you forgot that.
Thank you, right there.
Luke Brashears. Desmond Brown. Julius Pierce. Jalen Glenn. Jonathan Davis. Damian Lowry. Tyreek Swain. Landon Kennedy. Taurus Boone. Kenneth Horsey. Yuri Saab. Jason Culver. And then our young puppies that came up the end, Mokese Brooks, Greg Liggins, and Deatra Robinson.
Take this and back. Good job, young Paul.
Good job, Bo. There you go.
Before we get into the individual awards, there's another set of awards that I'd like to give out, or actually recognize, is we're going to call them the senior scholarships. Okay, and hopefully these young men are pursuing, all right, a higher education, and we are going to contribute 4 $1,000 scholarships, okay, on behalf of Kobe Lewis, Yuri Saab, Landon Kennedy, and John Cooper. Before we get into the individual awards, this year was obviously an interesting year in terms of recognizing the awards. Usually, when I send an email out to the coaches and I have a list of the awards that we are giving out for varsity, you know, it's pretty much every coach is right along the same. There may be a couple of them that are not necessarily, you know, that may be a little bit different. But this year, I mean, it was crazy. I mean, it seemed like everyone was different. All right, and that's a testament to the depth and the quality of young men that we had playing on this team. There may have not been a huge separation between certain players and others, but they all played a vital part in our success. We weren't relying on just a running back, or we weren't relying on just a quarterback or receiver. Multiple guys were making plays, and you know, that shows something. There was also an unselfishness on the team, and there's three guys I want to mention in stories and tell you about before we get into it. The first one started in the spring. All right, our offensive line, we had two starters that had been practicing all spring, and then all of a sudden one of them waited till the last minute to get his physical, and he went there, and they found a heart murmur that he had, so he was not going to be able to play. Or I think he filled out that he had a heart murmur when he was a kid, so he had to go get an EKG, and that obviously takes time. I think that happened on Tuesday of the week we were about to play Winter Springs. And then I can't remember what happened to the other guard. Something happened to the other guard. I think he got sick. That's right. He got sick, and so on Thursday, all right, we had to move one of our JV tight ends to offensive guard with 1 day of practice, and went and did a phenomenal job. And that was Jordan Davis. And so after the game, all right, as we're getting into the preseason, all right, we know that we have an issue with our guard or with our offensive line. And we said to Jordan, Jordan, look, I'm not saying that you're not going to be able to beat out the tight end that's ahead of you, all right, because we had two guys that were bigger and a little bit more developed, and we're better than him right now. I said, but I can tell you what, you could start at guard. I said, now your natural position is a tight end, all right? I said, and if something happens to the tight end, we would move you back, all right? Or you can play JV, and we'll go with the other guy. And later on that night, he called me and said, Coach, I want to play varsity. And he went and he played guard, all right? And a lot of guys don't do that. You know, I hear other coaches' horror stories about, you know, this guy's really this position, but he doesn't want to play and he's going to quit. And we don't have that issue. And it's a testament to these young men that the bottom line is they have one goal every week. That's to score one more point than the other team. So if we give up 50, offense, we got to score what? That's right. All right. If the offense only scores 3, defense, you can only allow how many? 4. Right? So, sorry, if we only score 3, you can only allow 2. You got to get we allow safety. Sorry. I used to be a math teacher, imagine that. But no. So that's what we talk about. We don't, hold on, guys. We don't talk about, the offense stunk that game or the defense stunk that game. Okay? We challenge the offense to outplay the other team's offense. We challenge the defense to outplay the other team's defense. And that was never more intimate or reflected in the last game of the year, okay? I'm talking about the unselfishness, is we're playing Apopka, and, they're not throwing the ball, okay? They're going to run it every down. And, normally we have 4 defensive backs in there, okay, 4 corners, smaller guys, and we were going to a 4 linebacker package. And two of the guys who had been playing all year, all right, Corey Whipper and O'Shea Baker, they weren't going to play very much on defense that game. And they didn't pout about it. As a matter of fact, on Monday, those two and Travis Lemon went over there and started running the scout team. And for those of you that don't know what the scout team is, the scout team are the guys that line up and simulate Apopka's offense. And you know what? They didn't bat an eye. All they cared about was winning. And I can't tell you as a coach how much I appreciate that, how much the coaching staff appreciates it, and that's why those young men are going to be successful in their life. All right? There's a lot of kids that when you told them you're not going to play in the first round of the playoffs as much as you normally do, they would have pouted, they would have put their head down, and they would have been disappointed. But these young men, without even being asked, went over and did something that a lot of people think are beneath them. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that from you men. All right. So we're going to start with Coach Carabala. Okay? Coach Carabala is going to come up and he's going to introduce the scholar athlete.
Excuse me. All right, like Coach Stark said, I'm doing the Scholar Athlete Award. This young gentleman is in the IB program here at Seminole, and I just heard that he got accepted into the University of Southern California. I don't think he's ever missed a practice to do homework or anything like that. He stays up late. He gets all his work done. He carries a great GPA. And Jorge Castano.
All right. Next, we have the Most Improved Award. That's going to be presented by Coach Hernandez.
All right. The Most Improved Player Award is going to go to a player who this was his first year starting at the varsity at offensive line at the varsity position. When I first met him, he told me this was the second sport he's ever played in high school. He tried out for the swim team. Definitely a better football player than swimmer. So Miguel Perez, Most Improved Player.
All right. And to introduce our special teams MVP is Coach Eric Lodge.
Our special teams MVP this year was a guy that every time he steps on the field, he's the best athlete on the field. Teams and coaches all over the place, they're starting to learn who number 7 is, and that kid, when he gets the ball in his hands, might score a touchdown. So he might not be the special teams MVP anymore because people won't kick to him next year, but it's O'Shea Baker.
All right. Next, Coach Wiggins Jr. is going to introduce the Most Valuable Defensive Lineman.
I'm giving Most Valuable Defensive Lineman. This player hardly missed practice, possibly never missed a workout. He does whatever you tell him to do. Whenever D lineman we had practice, he made sure the younger guys got the pads out and it was ready to go. This to go to Tyreek Swain.
Congratulations. All right. Coach Cox is going to introduce our most valuable line player.
All right, so this most valuable lineman, all right, this kid, I actually have the pleasure of coaching him for the past 2 years. I still got another year with him next year. I don't know if that's good or bad. Julius, come on up.
Congratulations, Julius. All right, and to introduce our offensive MVP is Coach Patrick Byrne.
Zion. Come here, Zion. Zion, come on. Yeah. No, I'm going to talk a little.
I'm not one for words, all right? But Zion is probably one of the best competitors we have, and he's always hard on himself before anyone else, and he always wants to put the team in front of everyone else. He's a great character kid that we want all our guys to be like him. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but if I know me as a man, if I went through what Zion went through this year, I don't know how it'd be. But he handled it with such grace and dignity, and he knew that he was going to show out for his pops more than anyone else out there on the field. All right, so the offensive MVP goes to Zion Jackson.
All right. And to introduce our defensive MVP, back is Coach Wiggins, Jr.
All right, with the defensive MVP, if you met him in March, you probably didn't think he was going to make it to the fall. Barely wanted to practice because he was coming from a different program and saw over here that we win for a reason. Came fall, practice habits got better, even let him run the ball a little bit, and this is go to none other than Eddie Key.
Congratulations, Eddie. Great job, buddy. All right. I have the privilege to introduce the team MVP. I've never been a part of a team where the team MVP or even the starting quarterback was a freshman. All right. And, you know, a lot of people thought we were crazy for having him. But, you know, what a lot of people don't realize, all right, man, is how much time he put in off the field. All right. Once the decision was made to allow him to compete at the varsity level in the summers, he would stay after. We would meet for about an hour and a half, okay, and start going over the offensive installation, the plays. People don't realize that Monday after practice, we would stay and we would watch every pass play from the previous game. Tuesday, we would stay and go over one of the personnel group's game plan. And Wednesday, we would, or it was either Tuesday or Wednesday and Thursday, we would stay and go over the game plan of the other personnels. This young man put an unbelievable amount of time in to learn the mental aspect of the game. He already had the skill set. It didn't take long to see him sprint out one time in May and throw the ball to the edge. And, you know, Coach Easton looked at me and I said, "You're not going to have that kid very long." Okay, and you know, hopefully he'll stay humble. Hopefully he'll keep working hard and continue to grow on and off the field. And your MVP for the 2017 season is Timmy McLean. Mike, you gonna be next to True Seminole? All right. Coach Timmons is going to come up here now and introduce the True Seminole. Now, for those of you that don't know what the True Seminole is, the way I look at it is you know, I've got two boys, and I tell you guys all the time, we're going to run the program as if my sons are in it. Okay, we're going to treat them with tough love, all right? And this award, all right, goes to someone who I think, all right, I would want my sons to be when they are senior and graduating. All right, they may not be the best player, but they're good. All right, they may not be the best student, but they're the best both ways. They're the best on the field, off the field, in the weight room, hopefully in the community when they're not around us. Okay, and Coach Timmons has the honor to present this award.
You know, this young man that I'm about to introduce is, I've had the privilege of coaching the last 4 years, and both the honor and the privilege of being around him on and off the field. He was one of the few athletes on this year's team that was also a big participant in last year's success as well. This individual is a type of young man that is the first on the field and one of the last off the field. Unfortunately, early part of this season, he was injured, and it was a type of injury that any one of the young men on this team could have just folded up their bags and gone on home, but he persevered. He continued to work hard. He helped make the team better while he was not on the field playing. And then when he got the opportunity to get on the field, he helped make us a playoff contender. And it's, like I say, it's been my honor to have been around this young man for the last 4 years. He's made me a better person by being with him. And this young man is Kobe Lewis. True Seminole Award.
Congratulations, Kobe. All right, the next award is the Peter Shaw Award. The Peter Shaw Award, I've been told, is older than the Heisman. This goes to our best football player on the team, and here to introduce him is a former Peter Shaw Award recipient, Kerry S. Wiggins.
This award goes to a young man that has been very instrumental within our program the last 3 years. He got a rough start, and I was telling his mom and dad as he was signing, I could go back to the Spruce Creek game when he didn't know if he wanted to do this. But a testament of showing his growth and who he is a Division I ball player that'll be going to the University of Kentucky on a football scholarship. This award just not deals with the academic piece and the athletic piece, but also character and who he is and how he carries himself as a person. This award also goes to a young man that's a team player and a leader. And all of those things that this award stands for, this young man carried himself wholeheartedly this year as a senior. And the Peter Shaw Award goes to Kenneth Horsey, Jr. Guys, this is not something that Coach Stark has written down on the script, but I have to say this because I believe it would be robbery not to say it, and I know the whole staff feels this way. Coach Don Stark has come in and did an awesome job within his football family, and I need to be able to say this because this is something he wouldn't want me nor anyone else to be able to say. But the time this man puts in to loving our young men and giving them everything that they have to have, I think it's a testament to who he is as a man and how far we're going to go. Because we're going to, he don't want to hear me say this, but I'm going to put it on him, we're going to be able to get us an opportunity to get another state ring year in and year out. But he's putting the work in to make sure that that gets done and making sure these young men, as well as we as coaches, do what we need to do. So could you all please stand and give my brother a standing ovation, please?
Thank you. As Coach Burns said, I'm not much a big talker either. Those guys probably don't think it because after practices and that, sometimes I'd be a little long-winded. But, you know, as a head coach, you're only going to be as successful as the people around you. And, you know, I had the opportunity to surround the football program with, first of all, a great amount, great coaching staff, you know, wives, girlfriends. You know, we really appreciate all the time that you allow these guys to coach these young men. And more importantly, all right, I'm considered a good football coach because we have great players. That's the reason. All right, none of the coaches are going to make a tackle. None of us are going to make a block. It's these men are the ones that make the play. Do we put them in position to make them? Absolutely. But these are the reason that we're successful, and they're the reason, and you're the reason that we're going to continue to be successful at Seminole High School. Thanks for coming out. I hope everybody has a safe trip home. Look forward to seeing you in the spring. Thank you.